All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Hassan Khan. Earlier, ladies and gentlemen, before the break, the legendary Dr. Adil Barki Sahab was on the show where he actually had so much to share with us all that, I actually feel a little sad that we really didn't had a lot of time to catch up with whatever he has to sing or whatever he has to share, because he's always the softest ever human being I've always come across, the modest of them all as well. And he always makes sure that, that he's going to represent that segment of the society where people have contributed quite a lot towards the country and the art and culture. Wonderful. But now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously it is because of the people like Dr. Adil Barki who actually inspire and influence a lot of younger generations to do a lot of good work. And we have such an example over here in the studios with us. This gentleman, this boy, actually happens to be a youth activist as well. He's written his first ever book, and that too about politics. I mean, he's too young to be actually talking about politics. And that's something which Qaid-e-Azam actually said, that while you're in your colleges and schools, please make sure that you attend your schools and colleges first, and then kind of indulge yourself into a political activity. Why did he do that is something I would certainly want to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've been joined by Mr. Alyan Khan. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, brother?
I'm really good, and thank you so much for such a heavy introduction.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
just 20, and that introduction weighs a lot.
And you truly deserve it, and it's because of the fact, well, certainly while we talk about it, I want our future generations to get into book writing, to get into book reading, and kind of do their research, and it's great. So the first ever book you've written, the title is The Seven Venoms,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's quite a scary title for a book to be, kind of printed with, and that too, when it's just a 20-year-old boy who's written it.
It's aimed to be scary. It's by the youth, so I think it's really good if you are scary and rebellious. That's
really?
Basically my ideology.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. We would certainly want to kind of explore your ideology more and more, but please share the book with us as well.
Sure.
Do you want to show it to the audiences out there in 46 different countries? And
definitely.
now, because we see a map over here as well, and when we see the map, obviously I see Pakistan, and then I see our neighbors as well.
Yeah.
How did you get this idea of writing a book where it's all majorly about politics?
I've always believed that youth really needs to be involved in politics. I mean, this country is not going to change if youth is not involved in politics.
True.
And this book is majorly, perspective from a youth. I was just 16 when I started writing this book.
Wow.
From my college, and then I dropped out of that college. So I think,
Did you drop out of that college because of writing this book?
Actually, due to a lot of different reasons, that made me write this book. I've always had a problem with this system, in a really good way, but I've always had a problem. So I started writing this book when I was 16 and interviewed a lot of people, and this is basically a theory. There are 7 chapters, that's the name, the 7 Venoms, and it's basically a theory that if you, eliminate these 7 things from the society, we can hope for a really better future.
But now, Alyan, you wanted to talk about those 7 venoms, those 7 characteristics you wanted to talk about. Please go ahead, share that with us.
Absolutely, and it's going to take a whole day if I go into details, but it's basically about breaking things down to psychology, basic psyche of the people, and how history has influenced it. So a big portion of this book is based on historical aspect and drawback of Indian subcontinental, all the events, for example, the caste system.
Yeah.
That's one thing that has been present in this society for 4,000.
Brahman, yes.
Exactly, and 4,000 years, and to this day, the colonial layout just enhanced those things. So like even today, maybe not Brahman, but we still have caste in our societies.
True.
And we don't engage with the people.
Jat, Rajput, even we have it, and everybody kind of takes pride in it, and there's so many dirty jokes about caste as well, or caste systems, and I believe that it's the human heart which needs to be cleaner, transparent, and it does not really matter which zat you're from or caste you're from.
Exactly.
So you're an avid believer of that, right?
I am, absolutely.
And why do you want to get rid of that? Because people who are actually 20 years old, they actually spend their nights staying up because they wanted to talk with someone whom they love probably, or they want to get married to, or they want to get settled. Here you are writing a book. So how do you do that? How do you maintain that balance?
I mean, someone gotta stand up.
Someone. Yeah, and you thought that it's you.
Yeah,
wow.
I thought that it's me. And then, I also have a foundation, and we're a team of 50 people. Okay. So I try to attract people who are into these things as well. I mean, yeah, big portion of that society is the part that you just talked about. But there are people who want to change something, and there are people who are doing something.
And yes, let's talk about your youth activism as well. How are you doing that, and how did you gather people onto the same platform where they have the same mindset as you?
You know, last year I founded this foundation, Crossheader Foundation.
Okay.
It's a youth by youth foundation. You know, everything. All the members are under the age of 24, and we have impacted more than 2,000 children last year.
Wow.
Children's rights, advocacy, action, and now we're moving towards building these portable schools. You know, these movable portable schools that you can put anywhere, and it will educate. You know, world-class education is provided in these schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you do that, and how do you make them portable? Because when we talk about the school, you know, just in one class we have more than 20, 30 students, you know,
Exactly.
so having an entire school which happens to be portable, how do you do that?
That's the first question that people ask me. And you know, when I was writing this book, I got to travel around a lot, and I figured out that there are three main problems with this system.
Yep.
I won't talk about the one, but the other two are the caste system and the education.
Okay.
So the main education system, you know, there are a lot of ghost schools in Pakistan and open air schools.
True.
So you talked about how do you make a school portable. Have you ever seen a shipping container?
Yes.
I mean, Imran Khan would love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the school is based in a shipping container.
All right.
Yeah,
So an entire school in a 20-feet container or a 40-feet container?
Yeah, and it houses 50 children at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's this office as well.
So then when we say that, you know, that the school is actually portable, so you take that container from one place to another.
Exactly.
But what about the students who attended that portable school in probably Sakha, and then you have taken that container to probably Rahim Yar Khan?
Yeah.
Are they going to miss out on the school then?
Actually, no.
Or you will have a separate container for them, or separate for the people in Rahim Yar Khan?
So it's portable in a sense that we won't be moving it around all the time.
All
so
right.
basically, it's in, like, for example, Thar Parker.
Yep.
You cannot build a school over there, but you can build one in Islamabad, and you can move it there.
Exactly. So you build one, you take it to Thar
It's a
Parker, you
modular
place it over
design.
there,
It's
the
a
students come in and they study.
It's a modular
And it's a
design.
great idea.
Yeah.
And you know, for a kid as young as you know, while I was 20, all I wanted was to have a good music system in my car.
I want that as well, but this is I want that too.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you're on a wonderful journey, and we certainly want people like you, you know, who think about how education needs to be improved. But what are those flaws which you see within our own education system? And that too, you know, after the advent of single national curriculum, a lot of people are saying that, you know, alhamdulillah, you know, that the schooling system and the education system is getting better under the vision of our Premier, Mr. Imran Khan as well. So what are the changes you would want to see within the education system?
I mean, there can be a lot of critics, and the idea, you know, Imran Khan's book has been one of the major source of inspiration for me.
True.
His autobiography.
Yep.
You know, I still remember reading the chapter when he attended HSN College, and that really influenced me. You know,
Yep.
forced me to, you know, really look at a society in a different way. So the idea of single national curriculum is fantastic, but you know, if you're gonna make a standard, make it of a good quality. I mean, I skimmed through the single national curriculum.
Yep.
If there is one standard, make it of a good quality.
True.
I mean, otherwise it's just
Otherwise, it's not even a standard, right?
Yeah, it's not a standard. It is a standard, but
Yeah.
it's gonna, you know, it's gonna.
I mean, if it's
go
not
down.
if it's not high in quality, you cannot literally call it a standard. Now, that's what I'm referring to.
Exactly.
Which I believe it's great, and we want to wish you best of luck as well in all of your future endeavors. So very quickly towards the end, whatever message you have for our future generations, please go ahead, take a look into this camera
I
and
would
say
say
whatever you want to
just
say.
stand up and do the thing that you want to do. It's really
Really?
important, yeah. And I would also suggest
When
people.
people think about very crazy ideas, Alyan.
I
You
mean,
know, you really do not want to say that to them. Yeah, do whatever you want to do, stand up and do it. You know, don't do that.
It's important that you take your chances, and people in their 30s, I would say that please have trust in the youth, because you know, we cannot create new ways by implementing the old ideas.
Exactly,
So,
that's true. And you
freedom
know,
is
when
really
Hazrat Ali
important.
has said that as well, that do not raise your children as you have been risen by your parents, because they were born in a different time. Thank you very much, Alyan, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation. Would you mind sharing the book with our audiences once again, and where can they get it from?
Yeah, they can read it for free on Google Books.
Wow,
absolutely,
for free?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. I mean, this is the first step where, you know, there's this gentleman who's written a book and he wants everybody to kind of take benefit from it. I like the idea, I like the passion you have, I like the dedication you have, and the way you're working, you know, will inshallah always bring you good. And that's what we want for our country and the people of our country. Thank you very much, Alyan Khan, for being with us. For everyone who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one simple and humble request. Please make sure to follow all the SOPs being put in place by the government. Make sure that you're not gathering up your friends at your place, and that too not following the SOPs, because then God forbid you're making sure that your parents are going to be at the risk of getting the COVID. Other than that, please make sure that you remember us all in your Jummah prayers, not just only in Jummah prayers, for every prayer you're going to make sure that you remember me, my entire team. Look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Bye.